So, right, I can't even see. It looks like everything's ticking. It's been a while since I've been live, guys, so I need something, some little prompt, someone telling me you can hear me voice and not just watching me lips moving. So if you're in Discord, someone must be in there. Give us a little thumbs up, let me know what's going on. At C Jordan, Stone Pips, one of you, let me know you can hear what's going on. Someone's liking it, haha, yes. Come on. I've started on Sol. I was not doing any background checking before the video. Let's get straight on there. Monthly, what's going on? Yeah, clear, bro. Yes, my guy. First in the room, as promised, just for you. 67k live stream. Didn't want to do it. I'm here. Not done a live for a while. Feels very old school this, but nevertheless, it's good. Just give me a minute. Let me make sure I've got all my juices ready. And we'll cover some charts. What am I doing? Lines. Yeah, works clear. That is good. Let me get that set up on this side. Hope weekend's been good, nice and chilled. Family's all okay. Is what we want to hear. Nice and relaxed. Nothing too strenuous. Good end to the week. BTC. Obviously, mid-correction candle. I mean, when you look at previous bull runs, we've had larger candles, but I mean, it was a monster move. Come right after us talking about weekly suppression in the chart, so another well-timed video. But we did discuss that when it goes, if it's gonna go, it should have ripped hard, and we got the move. It did rip. We didn't take the high, which at the minute we're above the body of the candle. So to me, that is an initial indication. I will show both sides to this. I'm not gonna just show one side, but my initial look without seeing a weekly close, obviously, and also we've got a monthly close coming, so there's two key elements in time that, in my opinion, we need to be a little bit patient for. We've seen weeks of suppression in the chart, then we've seen this crazy move, so something similar could occur again. I think it's certainly not a time to be going all guns blazing, throw everything at it. It's going to continue. It's a keep patient moment for me. But like I said, nevertheless, everything's moved well. It's held over the weekend. We've had no dumping. It looks like we're not going to need large gate wicks, which is also cool. Literally everything moves. XRP's moved, Casper's moving, Velo. It's just craziness. So we are all good in the hood. I have got two screens, so I'm trying to fucking mess from one side to the other. It's XLM Senior. Yes, I will cover XLM Velo. It's all coming. If this takes an hour, it takes an hour. If it takes longer, so be it. But we'll cover it all. Oh god. Right. BTC. So, like I've just mentioned, initial thoughts on Bitcoin is looking at the higher time frame, zooming right out, being a neutral in this. If I was coming to the chart as a looking what to do, seeing this large move, as I've mentioned, we're in and around that 50% of the consolidation, which we talked about inside this move as an area. Obviously we failed that, made a new low there. Now obviously everyone at the moment is talking about the actual low of that consolidation as their target. Now just because everyone's talking about it, one, it doesn't mean that that's just gonna start navigating towards that price. It doesn't do that. It doesn't do what everyone fucking wants it to do. If it did that, we'll be all loaded. Every bottom's going to be different. Every bottom's not going to be exactly the same. What I did mention in, I can't remember what I'm up to now, 3 or 4 videos, when this moves, when it gets above 67, and you can go back to the videos and watch this, when it gets above 60k, we want to move with volume, we want to move with aggression, and we want to rip right through that level. We didn't want to see any choppiness, we didn't want to see any wicks above, candle closes below, none of that. What BTC did back end of last week was absolutely blow through that level. Now, we'll get to the weekly chart in a second, but as I mentioned, we've hit the 50%, we're retesting previous all-time highs, right? We've had 3, so you've had your 1, 2, 3 move down. In an ideal world, very ideal world, either this month or the next month gets us above, what are we, 82,820. Even a wick and an SFP would indicate that we've got willingness to start moving in the opposite direction, and that will give me more of a premise to want to look for a higher low forming in the retest. And what I'm meaning by that is, hypothetically, we close here. Like I've mentioned at the start of this stream, we're above the bodies at the moment. Candle close on the weekly here above the bodies of the previous month, but certainly this, the one with the largest wick, that to me is a bullish indication already. That is one where you're betting with odds if it going with not the full correlation, in my opinion. If the next month, so if we start the month and we shallow retest and then we break and potentially SFP this high, in my opinion, that'll be a very, very strong indication that we are going to go for a higher low inside this range, whether that's retesting the low over here, getting printing the head and shoulders, retesting 50% and OT of this range, who knows, and then from there, then we start going into the bull run over the next coming years. That to me is a strong validation, not correlation, I meant validation. A bit nervous on a live stream, get me words mixed up. So that to me is a strong validation, is get above that previous month's high, gives me a bit more of a premise to want to long that higher time frame swing low. I don't need to overcomplicate it, I don't need anything else on the chart. Yes, we can start pulling up the fibs and give you some levels using the current move, but I haven't got the full swing yet. At the minute, I've got from here up to this candle. What I'm looking for is a move above here. Let's say hypothetically we do go to there. That's what, and then I'll be looking for a swing low to be formed. It might even only do a 50% higher low. Doesn't need to do much, but what I'd be looking for is that higher time frame swing coming inside the OTE of the fib from 50% down to the 7.9, and I'll be looking to long that bottom and then rally away. That is very similar to what we did over here. Very, very similar. We move with conviction out of the range, out of the lows. The candle that started the move wasn't the lowest. Very similar to what we've got over here. The candle that started the move again wasn't the lowest. So we're not that I like to. Where the fuck am I going? There. Not that I like to paste that over here and look at that. I'm not doing that. I'm just showing you the higher low more than anything. But I'm also showing you that it doesn't. The low doesn't need to, the low of the strong move doesn't need to be the aggressive move. It can be prior. So what we had here. So if we went from the bottom to that high, we tag 50%. We SFP'd the candle, reverse, tag 50%, closed on the monthly, very bullish, consolidated, ran away. I'm looking for sort of similar context here. That's what I'm looking for bull case. Both plays work out, even if I'm going to look to trade it short. I'm gonna be looking at it in the same aspects. Once inside this range, again, when we go down to the weekly, you'll see what I'm looking for in there. But between here and above 82,800 is where I am looking to get in leverage trades, get into that short. That's what I'm doing here. I'm not looking for longs on the breakout, because what happens when we take a level of liquidity, if we get a trigger, we'll see a pullback. Market always sees a retrace of some magnitude. Every time we've rallied, SFP'd, we've reversed. Even if you use the candle that SFP is the previous high, even if you target that same candle's low, use that as a reversal. There's always potential. So the bull to bear, that is what I'm looking at. I am not going to lie, I'm very much sitting alongside that. I am pretty content in saying that I'm looking at this thinking the bottom is in. I don't see this as bearish. If we were a bit deeper inside the range, yeah, I'd probably certainly be looking for shorts. If we go over to that weekly, we are inside that breaker I mentioned in all my previous videos. I've had this level marked out. These always move. Someone's fucking around with me stuff. I don't like it. We are inside the breaker. It's a very minute swing low that formed inside there, but nevertheless it's still high time frame PD array. So shorts inside this range could happen. Again, I'm best operated above and below levels of liquidity. Above that swing high or below, this is where I'm better active personally. Still trading inside this range, but going from the monthly to the weekly, you can see the compression led to huge rally, big volume, nice aggressive candle, ripped straight through everything. Why? Because there's little or no resistance in that down move. It was continuous downtrend, selling off right into the liquidity, again below sub 60k. So when the market was ready after taking that swing, as you can see here, that evidently was the swing low. What lesson did we learn from that? What lesson did we all learn from this? Every man and his dog wanted sub 60k again. I waited for it. No leverage trade was done in this, because during this move all I wanted was a run below here. Pendings were set. I was adamant these were going to get taken. I was skeptical, because when you start looking on X and start seeing every other man and his dog talking about the same move, the same levels, the same price, you start to think either I'm fucking part of the herd, which I think I am, or the algo's taking a piss out of me. One or the other. Either or, I got a pie slapped in my face, but I don't mind, because everyone knows who's been doing this trading alongside me. I am been spot long across the board. I'm going to continue to be spot long across the board. I am not bearish by any means long term. I can withstand, even if this makes another low. It doesn't occur to me right at this minute. But inside this range, this is where, if I'm going to trade it, it's going to be H4, H1. I'm looking for a trigger. At the minute, we're not getting any of that. We've retested the imbalance over here. At the minute, we're showing bullish context. For Discord only, I have talked about Sunday power free continuously. It's a nice little trade, very simple move. When you get consolidation from back end of the week into the weekend, it is a little tradable event. You can trade during the weekends, it is fine, doesn't matter. ICT says don't, but you don't have to listen to what everybody says. It was a nice little move, original consolidation, manipulation, rallied above, take out the swing high. I played that on ETH, to be fair, nothing big, just a little move, little bit to the bank, that's fine. But In a minute, I've got no triggers at all on BTC. I'm either gonna wait for a bit more volume to pick up, a little bit more aggressive PA. So I am naturally looking in around that 79k. If we can take out that high Monday, Tuesday, so that would be a previous week's high run, or starting the week if we fail to do that. If we start taking out this low, move aggressively through it with a potential FVG, sorry, why don't I just say fair value gap, like, rather than just being a fucking absolute helmet trying to spell out shit. You all know what a fair value gap is now. So either we get a trigger, no, not like that at all, again, helmet. See, nerves get you, it's crazy, start doing silly things. If we get a trigger above that, I'll be short, going down to sub 70. Why sub 70? I'll show you in a second. Yeah, let's get that, but I don't know why we're being gay. We'll change the fucking colour then, please. No? Just can't be arsed. Not interested. No, not interested at all. Can we change colour to black? Thank you. That wasn't hard, was it? Very good. So yeah, run above the swing high, or if we get to the week, we fail to run above that high, but we go through here aggressive fashion, look to retest the range, maybe OT, and then we'll drop a little bit further. That is where I'm looking for shorts inside this monthly candle at the minute, maybe some shallow moves. Why? Because here we have the free candle move that got us out of that compression, got us out of that range. It might look a bit, no, it doesn't look, you can't look at that the weekly. Now, I personally always like to use the lower candle of this because it is the one that broke us out of the range. It was the initial starter of the move, and you've also got the high of the candle over here that overlaps, should be in and around that 50%. Again, I've not done it, I'm going to do it now. Hold your horses. Very close. What was that candle? 67.2. So what? We're $300. So that to me is where I'd like to see Bitcoin when we get the swing. That's where I'm going to be looking for the shorts. That's where I'm predominantly going to be looking for that higher time frame swing low to happen when the market is ready to do that. Like I said, at the minute I'm watching, I'm not in any trades. I was in and out of that shorter H1 power of 3 Sunday move. At the minute it's just a case of watching. Like I've mentioned, we have got monthly close coming, not this week but next week, which rolls into a UK bank holiday. Not sure if it's bank holiday across the board, but UK it is. So it's a game of patience. Let's see what the market does. Could be volatile again. We could go into the week absolute ripping. At the minute we're looking bullish. We've took out this previous low into that H4 fair value gap, so there is potential this does go and look to target that monthly swing high. If we do, in my opinion, that's an even stronger game on. But I'm sat here looking at a chart, and this doesn't feel a corrective move, it doesn't look a corrective move. Maybe that's what it's designed to do. Maybe it's designed to get me, and I'm bullish, and just, who knows. But I'm looking at this with strong conviction that bottom's most likely in. This is going to start Rusty 24/7 2027. What the fuck is that? No, I don't want that. See, I don't know why this doesn't show. There we go. Even when you fib that range, we're we've blown through everything. 50% OT 7.9. We've gone through the lot. To me, alongside the weekly, and you can see the daily candles of the previous week showed very strong bullish conviction in my opinion. Candle close will give us a little bit more indication on the week. It's not going to show much on the monthly. Like I said, ideally I would like to see monthly hold above 76,369 for a stronger move if we fail to get above the previous month's high going forward. So we're just going to label that blue. Get rid of this, we don't need that on the chart. Previous month's body open. I have gone over to but it's the black candle there. You can see what I'm fucking doing, can't you? So that's BTC. Don't really need to cover much more than that. As I said, it's aggressive, it's moved, it's out of the compression stage. We're in the weekly breaker. We've ripped through all levels of the Fibonacci from my side of things to be overly bearish. We've got 2 hours 40 minutes. If it closes below 70k, I'm going to delete everything. As simple as that. It's not going to happen. I'm very much camp bull. Like, I'm very strong. It's not, and I'm not just sat here just because I'm fucking seeing a big candle and I want to get loads of likes, even though I've just gained 2 more subs on YouTube. Thanking you. But to me, everything's ready. Again, previous videos I've talked about this. I wanted to see conviction, volume, aggression. We've done it. No cool, calm, collected on that candle whatsoever. Do we want to do ETH now, or do we do alts? ETH, alts. We'll go ETH. We'll just try it. Let's just clean this up. Actually, that's the point. I am going to clean this up a little bit. Do we need to clean that up? Nah, we can keep that, can't we? ETH's a little bit fucking messy though, isn't it? Let me clean this up. I always like to keep everything on so you know I'm not fucking deleting shit. Can we keep that? Does that look still messy? Now ETH, again, go back to the videos. Weekly fair value gap. Mentioned this numerous times, numerous videos. If we're going to go, we're going to hold that. There was other levels with ETH. Obviously, get rid of these alerts as well. That's making an absolute hash of the screen. By the way, guys, I'm not even checking the time, so wherever this lands, it is what it is. Let's just go to the monthly. So, I have checked total 1, total 2. This does correlate across the board, gives me a little indication. I will touch on that towards the end. I am also going to try and do some cards for this stream so I can split everything up, so if you want to come back to it you can click on and you don't have to watch the whole fucking thing and fast forward and shit. So I'm going to try and be a bit more user friendly. But monthly made a higher high. Now again, it shows willingness, and it shows to me that there's a strong indication that we're looking for a reversal. What ideally, from my perspective and what I've learned from ICT, maybe not 100% correct, I never say it is. Obviously, go and do your studying. There's a fucking lot of stuff to watch, but candle close to me above is ideal. A wick above an old swing high or a wick below an old swing low. While most view it as a liquidity grab, which technically it is, and you get a pullback following that, it shows willingness and it shows an indication that the market could be reversing. Now when you're looking at a higher time frame, monthly, weekly, even daily, in that instance, that shows to me potential market bottom. We've rallied through, like I said, it does correlate when you look on total 2, total 3. We have SMT with BTC being the weaker of the two, of the three, sorry. But ETH, in my opinion, looks good monthly, so we've got that monthly swing high, so we'll go for April 2026. April 2026 monthly high, we'll have that mapped out on the thing. Dropping down to the weekly, as I've mentioned, that fair value gap that we talked about, we got 1-2 taps in that strong swing fairly pattern inside the range. Said if it's gonna go from there. There is potential if BTC went for that 62, we would come lower. It didn't. It fucking ripped. It mooned. It went straight to the target of the power of 3. No messing around with this. There's your consolidation. That's why we had the highs mapped out. Consolidation, manipulation, reversal, boom, away you go. Now that move is done. Again, it comes down to what is next. So we're gonna compare with that with what we're looking at with Bitcoin at the minute. There's going to be a level of patience. Like I said, we've got the monthly candle close coming, so there's a little bit to wait for. We are getting deeper into, are we technically Q4 yet? And then again, similar to what we had on Bitcoin, 1, 2, 3, 4 moves to the downside. We didn't actually take out the low, very similar to what we had with BTC. We actually ran into the consolidation, but we didn't actually make a further low in that. We've rallied, gone towards the monthly high. ETH has made a higher high at the minute. Weekly SFPs, see how we are. For me, I always look at, I like to see a strong swing fairly pattern personally. Most normally lead to a correction of some form, whether it's a full retrace, even if you look over here, very shallow SFP and we got a larger retrace, but that's because we're in mid-range cycle correction. So this was any run above a high there is deemed as a strong sell. This is more, we're looking at potential bottom, so any move here, again similar to what I had on BTC, if we drop over to that daily time frame, I'm not necessarily I'm personally not thinking new lows. I don't even think we correct it in this month. I think we continue, maybe even consolidate in and around the highs, but I think the correction comes September. Again, similar to what we had with Bitcoin, if we use this large imbalance over here, I talked about I want to see bullish inefficiency in the market. I want to see a level where I want to see price rebalance and then continue, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Again, if we use the fib, %50 of the range. Oh, fuck off. This is where I want to see now price come down to and make that higher time frame swing low form. Like I said, everything's there. We've got daily, the ETH's made a higher high on the weekly and the monthly. It's looking strong. It moved very aggressive. It moved with BTC. What I'm talking about with total 1 and total 2, go over to the monthly here. So the market, BTC heavy, failed to get above the swing high, right, on a monthly time frame. BTC shows that BTC failed to get above its monthly high. So right, okay, there's potential relative weakness there, potential higher odds for shorts on the BTC pair. Drop over to ETH, like we've just seen with the ETH USD pair, excluding BTC, ETH made a higher high, even though we've wicked above it at the minute with candle closing below. Again, we're on the monthly time frame here, 8 days left. We have shown a level of willingness to get above that swing high. When you go over to total free, again excluding BTC and ETH, we have again shown willingness to get above that level. Now this is one, it's SMT. We've got two assets that are following in line. We have got one that's not. What that usually indicates is there's weakness in the market in terms of BTC. Now, where that would normally be a trigger for me to think this is a broader liquidity grab across the board, markets rallying, market makers are taking profit, pulling the cash out of the game, and they're going to short this and run and make new lows. I'm more on the side of this is potential showing willingness of ETH is about to start outperforming BTC for a period of time. Now, I am only saying that because we have the BTC dominance pair also at a level of a level that I've been looking for now for a period of time. What are we talking about? Fucking 1, 2, 3, about 4 months. I mapped this out, what I wanted to see. We broke below that level. Yeah, I said to you, this is a bearish breaker. To me, again, this showed willingness. We did candle close below this, but this to me showed willingness that the Bitcoin dominance pair is about to lose its floor. That to me indicated that there is more potential of ETH and ALT starting to run. Now, what we've seen at the minute is retest of the range. Now, this is the first time I've done this. I have not done this previously, but that looks like it's going to have just fallen short. Yeah, nearly at OTA. We're below 50%. Again, see what the market holds. But when I look at Bitcoin dominance, and we're talking, when you look at this, you're not seeing the flush through. Where if we see a flush through that, we're going to see the rest of the market pump. That is what we're going to see, and then the buying time is going to have gone. This is looking at the market, and I can't even think of the word. Predicting is kind of similar, not what I fucking want. I'm going to go with predicting for the period of time until it comes to me. Anticipating, fucking hell, very simple word. This is where something I've learned is when I see moves like this is where you have to anticipate what it's going to do next. And if you're wrong, you own that. Simple as. That's how you've got to look at it. That's how I'm looking at this. That is why I am happy buying, because I've seen everything I wanted to see. I've been buying anyway prior to this, but I've seen everything I wanted to see. When I'm looking at BTC and looking at ETH, I'm thinking, right, BTC's ran through every level of resistance, so to speak, in terms of what I want to see. If I'm looking for bearishness in price, where I want to look for shorts, it's rallied through that. We're very close to that monthly swing high. ETH ripped through it, went straight for it, no fucking around. I'm going for it, sick of being called ugly sister. We're having it, it got it. ETH made that high. Then you go over to total and see the broader picture of the market. We're seeing total failure to get above that, which we see on the Bitcoin USD pair. We're seeing, excluding BTC, we rallied above. Alts also rallied above. Compare that with Bitcoin dominance at a level where I'm anticipating it to reverse from. I'm thinking next couple of months, potentially this is where I want to start loading up. Whether I'm wrong in the actual bottom being in and we make new lows, regardless of that, I think that time period, even if that does occur, is going to be very, very short. Going into Christmas period and New Year, everything's going to start to rally. 2077, in my opinion, not financial advice whatsoever, 2027 is going to be a big year for crypto. Not all assets, some assets might fail, whatever, but in terms of the broader picture, I think 2027 is going to be a big year. So that's what I'm looking at with a ETH. We've done BTC, we've done total 2, total 3, discussed SMT, total being the weaker one of the two. Bitcoin dominance fucking around. We're in and around that 59%. We want to break now 57.94, and I tell you, you will see things popping off if that takes out that swing low. We then go to ETH BTC. We want ETH BTC to be looking like it wants to get above a swing high. Is it doing that? Yes. Boom. Had this marked out from down here. Anticipation. We anticipated inside this inversion. Don't know where the inversions come from because it's not there. Is it weekly? No, it's not weekly. It's from somewhere. I don't know whether it was just that and it's just moved. I feel like it was a lot bigger than that. I don't feel like I had it that small. I might have done though. I'm not 100%. I don't like lying. There was an inversion going on somewhere. It only makes sense that it was the smaller one. I don't feel like it was, but it's there anyway. But inside this, I discussed, we want to see a bounce and we want to start seeing a reversal. I drew this lovely little swoosh. Night tick. Swing low, swing high, take out, raid the fucking lows, take out the stops, making new lows. USD pair tanked. Everyone was sweating, talking about 1k ETH. Mark had other ideas. We're sat at $2,400. Boom. We rallied above. We're showing willingness. It's looking good. We've got 8 days to do something very Craig David. Very good. A lot of things are lining up for me. I feel like I'm talking to myself, by the way. I've not got it set up yet for anything. I need Discord. Is Discord anywhere? Discord. What are you posting now? Within alt cycles, you should crank up risk when the trend first reverses and begin to gradually protect. Crank up the risk is what I like. People lose because they do the exact opposite. Slow, early, yeah, fully agree. Fuck around, you will find out one way or the other. You either get in or you don't bother. People ask all the time. Swing lows form, no one is interested in buying. As soon as you get that big fucking monster green candle, everybody wants to know when it's pulling back. Buy when everyone's panicking. Again, you've got to do your own thing, but I've made so many mistakes. I've waited, I've bought too early, I've done the lot. I don't care anymore. And I think that's why I've got a better mindset, because I just don't care. I'm in a position where I don't have to care, don't put in more than I'm willing to lose, I don't borrow to buy, none of that shit. It's just, if it fucks up, it fucks up. I'm young enough for it to fuck up. It's not my be all and end all. I am invested. Other assets, yeah, I think you've got to be these days, but yeah, I fully agree with that. I might even post that. Can I'm stealing that off you, by the way. Fully stealing that. But yeah, I'm looking at the broader picture here, everyone. I'm pretty content across the board. I don't even think I need to look at. I'm not even interested in the dollar. What is the dollar doing? Looks a piece of shit. I'm not even fucking about with the dollar. No one's interested in the dollar, are we? Right. What have we got? Because JP's mentioned XLM, I am going to do XLM because he's mentioned that now. I will get to Velo next before you start throwing your toys out the pram, so hold your horses. One thing I've mentioned about XLM, two different assets, XRP, XLM, very different, obviously original founders and all that bullshit, separated. One's one's for profit, one's not for profit. Look into it. I'm not going to tell you which one's which. You can do that yourself. I'm not really interested in that. Both, in my opinion, are going to be used in the payment system. I don't just think Ripple and XRP are going to be the only one. There's going to be multiple assets across the board. Everyone thinks one asset is going to rule, that fucking ring on whatever, Frodo's finger or Gollum's finger, whatever you call it. Not happening. In my opinion, might do. But I'm showing you a monthly chart because XLM has never got above a previous all-time high. Never. Since 2018. Now, what is going on there? Oh, I'm still there. Wow, 40 minutes. I hope you can still fucking hear me. I did have chat on here somewhere and I really don't know how to put it on. Also, if anyone's watching and you can do overlays to make it look a little bit more pretty, I would really appreciate that. If you can help me do that, I will pay as well, happily. I need to do it. Looks a bit boring. But anyway, XLM never ran an all-time high ever. So people will look at that and think weakness straight away. Yeah? I look at that and think price since 2018 has failed every single time to get above a previous all-time highs. To me, what I think could occur is a very, very large, expansive move, massive candle, and I genuinely believe this is no bullshit. I genuinely believe XLM could get to $1 next bull run very, very easily. I think all them swing highs are going to be attacked. Very similar to what we've seen with you see it across the board. You see alts when they start attacking them levels of liquidity, when the market makers want to get to them levels of liquidity, there will be shorts residing above these. There will be market makers with shorts above these. There's going to be institutions, there's going to be large caps, large funds, all that shit with their stops. They've been shorting this and they're going to have their stops above all these swing highs. In my opinion, when this thing goes, it is going to gun for the highest high in that consolidated range. It won't stay consolidated for long, in my opinion. When the market's ready and it's going to rip, it is going to go. Again, not financial advice, that is no bullshit. I hold my hands up, that is genuine. I genuinely believe XLM is going to rip. I'm not saying going all in, don't do any of that. Just do your own thing, look into it. You might think, Rusty, you're full of shit, it looks weak, it's not going to do anything. That's fine. Content with that. But nevertheless, that's my opinion. So again, monthly, alts are not really showing much. I know we've moved aggressive. We've come, obviously I've mapped out an LB there that we've come into. It looks very good. We've tagged that. So we had a run on sell side liquidity. This is the reason why I mapped this OB out. Run on sell side liquidity. Rallied above OB, market across. The swing high formed prior was your initial shift in structure, Main shifting structure was above the largest high in the range over there, so we've got very convincing. Now bearing in mind this moved way before the rest of the market, right? This did what, 100% move in a week, way before anything else even budged. Yeah, so anyone talking it's not moving now, chess pieces get moved prior. Nothing moves, it doesn't have to move all in situ. You've seen it for years. XRP for a long time moved last. XLM in this instance moved first. We've come back down, we've tagged that, we've now got a internal shift again, so got the conviction there. Going over to the daily, what would I be looking at now? Again, really want to see a close on this, but one thing I will say is what I've just shown on the monthly time frame, given the fact that I am anticipating that we are going to attack the previous all-time highs in and around $1, even if it's 50 cents, you're looking at a 2x if you just buy now. We're at 20 cents. So if we get to 40 cents, you've 2x'd, you buy. Yeah? $1.05. But if you don't want that, you want to pull back just in case it doesn't do its thing. Anything below 50% down to OTE is ideally where I'd be looking for bids on this. Again, given the market holds up, a little bit of spot buying. Again, if everything lines up, everything does a little bit of a correction. Some alts may dip a little bit deeper because the BTC pair is retracing or correcting harder than the rest of the market. That might occur. This is why I always follow the majors. And I'm not too fussed about leverage trading too much on alts, because sometimes an alt chart can look really good, can look beautiful, but then BTC could spoil the party. So trade with caution if you're going to do leverage. Highly advised not to. Excellent, but yeah, anything sub 18 cents I think's a solid buy. Like I said, if we can get into OT of the range, I think beautiful. But I think longer term, last year's all-time highs is a 2x from current price. Like, what worst case it rolls over and does 10, you could buy the same amount of assets for half the price and you've got double of it. That's how I look at things at the minute. If I'm wrong, don't throw everything in, and just be a bit more relaxed about it. It's cool, it's fine, I don't really worry. But last year's all-time high is a 2x if you just buy now. So when you look at the broader picture like that, then don't stress too much. Don't run at price, go and buy everything because you think it's just going to run, but be ready to pull the trigger if you've not done already. Like during this pullback, if you were anticipating that it was going to bounce, you've got good bids inside this range. You've got solid bids inside this range, so you're content with the move, you're happy, and you're just loading up. If you're not and you're seeing this, you start to panic, just stop and just think longer term. Don't think about the intermediate and the short term, think about the longer term picture in this. And longer term picture, in my opinion, is looking very good for XLM. But if we can get sub 20 cents, I think it's a good bid. Short-term targets were all smashed in that previous run. Very happy with that. Gonna clean up that because that's a fucking mess as well. Excuse the swearing. Can't stop. Velo. I am doing Velo before I forget. Velo up 4%. So again, Oh, I need to delete that. Although I think it is going to... Very similar to what we had with BTC. We're seeing very... After these larger moves, even during the top, where we had the main... There wasn't as much compression as we're seeing now. I do think Velo it is one that's going to start moving hard. We're inside a huge level of consolidation at the minute. Weekly breaker mapped out. Again, we anticipated that we'd get above that range. We've rallied, we have a deep pullback, but we're showing willingness to move. If we can get above this swing high, this, in my opinion, is going to get traded through very quickly. This took a lot of the liquidity out of this move. This candle here, rebalance price for it to make that new low inside this consolidation. So in my opinion, once we get above this swing high, I can't even print it, like 0.004, once we get above that range, in my opinion, this navigates very hard and very strong towards 0.0086, and that weekly swing high. Is that the month? .0086. Yeah, so it's that candle. Get above that, we'll start navigating towards that very quickly. Now, I have just noticed that actually failed. Did it fail to get above that? So that technically should be there. Extend that back in there so we can see it. We actually didn't, we didn't rebalance inside that range. But very similar to what I've just shown you there. So on that weekly, where I'm anticipating that it'll be an aggressive move when it starts going. When you drop over to the month, we've got the same sort of context. This candle here took a lot of liquidity out in this range, so this getting up to the large imbalance should be an aggressive move as well. Very content with Bella. I think very early days. Again, another payment system. You're seeing the rails getting printed. Braulio and the boys in Discord very hot on the subject of Velo. You're seeing a bottom from 23 to 26. Yeah. When this thing, everything I've just spoke about there, and that daily and the weekly, where we've got little to no resistance in this, and it'll rip through. When we get above this swing high, so 0.038, when we get above that swing high, this is when it'll start knocking zeros off the board like fucking Skittles at the bowling alley. This is a low risk liquidity run, and in my opinion, I'm looking in and around 30 cents will be achieved. Whether it goes higher or not, I don't know. I think 30 cents is a very strong contender for price. Everything I've discussed there, everything I'm seeing, I've seen this happen on multiple assets. I'll show you an example in a second, but that to me is a low risk liquidity run. Little to no resistance on the higher time frame. We've just got continuous downward movements, so I think this gets achieved very quickly. I think it'll be a very aggressive, it'll be a move that catches everyone out. On them lower time frames, we're going to see smaller spectacles of what's to come with Velo. Whether this occurs this bull run or the next one, I don't know. I'm not really fussed in time. What I'm fussed about is making sure that I'm in and ready. As my man said there, people lose because they do the exact opposite. They're slow at buying. Yeah? I am not slow at buying assets that look like they have huge potential. I'm not interested in what the fucking thing does. I'm interested in where it's going to go with price, and to me 30 cents Velo is a strong contender. Big move, big talk, yeah, big kahoonies, potentially not massive, but we're there. Show you an example of that. Where is it a weekly on link? So this is a very, very old trade. Same sort of thing, yeah, on a weekly time frame. The swing low there, mark it out. Little to no resistance in this move. Yes, price rallied through. I'm not showing you this because I'm saying Velo's going to go above. Once it started to move, it had no objection to be let through. None at all. It went through like a butter through knife. Yeah? Same context. Little to no resistance. When we get above this, in my opinion, 30 cents gets achieved in a few months once we see the initial breakout. XLM Velo. I've done a broader scale on alts. Oh, have I done an hour? No, I've not done an hour. Main crypto XRP. Very good. So obviously I talked about before XLM hitting all-time high. As you can see, previous all-time high failed there. Once we rallied above, we achieved that very quick. Again, we had the move, then we had the pullback on XRP. We eventually got, did we get sub? We just about got sub sub $1. What did it actually do? 9874. But again, when I showed you the total free chart with alts excluding the BTC and ETH, they all made that higher swing high. So the high here is there. So there's the initial indication. Yes, it's an SFP at the minute. Inverted fair value gap, so you can extend that out in time. So that was an initial on the move. Rallied above the original consolidation, power of 3, very aggressive move above that. Ideally I want to see a candle close before I drop a fib, but very similar to what I've done with XLM there. I will be looking in and around 50% down to OTE. Whether we get that low, who knows. OTE lines up with the third candle following the breakout over here, so there's a lot of confluence in and around that area, but again, everything holds up. I anticipate that these levels will be met. Doesn't matter how long it takes. We've had compression for a long period of time. We've had a very large expansive move to the upside. We're gonna get shitty PA for a period of time unless we go full bull mode. This thing rips, then this level will get met a lot further down the line, but I'm not anticipating that. Like I said on the BTC, I am anticipating that we roll over maybe in September, take out previous month's elite high, large liquidity grab, get people chasing breakouts, dump the market a little bit, everyone panics, everyone starts to sell, RustyRigs starts scooping up loads of assets, everyone's calling for new bottoms, I'm ready for new longs. Going into the back end of the year, the fucking thing rips, everyone's happy, and we're all good. Sorry for talking really fast, but I was in the zone. But yeah, XRP very similar, very happy with the move. Move's quite aggressive. Breaker there as well, so extend that out in time. OT for me looks a lot of confluence. It's that swing high break. We're inside the breaker. It's in the third candle on the daily, right smack bang in the middle. If we do the 50% from there to there, It's literally right on it. There's way too much confluence in there. Goes lower, it goes lower. Come on. Excellent, looking sweet. LTC I think is going to be a little bit of a dark horse for me. I have been saying this for a long time. Been dropping this chart in the Discord again for a long period of time. We've moved well on the lower time frames. Going over to the monthly. Again in a large level of consolidation. Previous all-time high is $500. We're currently sitting sub, are we quite sub 50? Not really sub 50 at the minute. We've not got the monthly breakout. A little bit slow off the mark on that one when you compare it. Yes, I'll give you that. That is fine. Market looks sweet on the weekly, very content. Like I said, monthly's not actually broken out. When we compare that with Sol, see where Sol's actually made higher high, XRP's made the higher high. Technically a little bit different on the chart, can't really compare the two, but it has made a new monthly high. Am I trading myself? Wow. Impressive, no fucks given. Yeah, see some alts move more aggressive than others. Link again made that monthly high. HBAR not yet made that monthly high. That comes a little bit higher on that. 10 cents, 11 cents. But LTC in my opinion is a bit of a dark horse. I think again when this next bull run comes, $500 plus potential on that one. For a higher time frame level of conviction, I want to see us above $60. You've got your inversion there, so we've got a little bit of bullish context going on there. Again, lower time frame stuff I was very happy with. Everything played out as expected. Get rid of this off the chart so it looks a bit cleaner. Again, without a candle close, can't really fib that properly. You've got the breaker there, so we can extend that out in time. Go there to there. Voila. Pull back. Go. Pretty much what I'd be looking for. On LTC, what does the LTC BTC pair look like? Down initially, took sell side liquidity, strong weekly swing failure pattern, strong monthly swing failure pattern coming there. So anticipation of a reversal. Now what do we have here? We have consolidation. We have manipulation. And let's see if the thing wants to go. But yeah, I'm pretty content across the board. I will drop into Casper. Casper's had its problems like every other fucking market's had its problems. I am content with buying Casper still. I don't think it's an ETH killer like everyone said it was an ETH killer. But nevertheless, people keep saying, oh, it's ran, it's done X, Y and Z. This is still 60% off its previous year's low. Yeah? 60% still. But if you're buying this asset, but you're thinking, oh, it's done 30, 40%, 70%, whatever it's fucking done. What has it done? What has it done? Off that low, it's done 73%. Yeah, so it's moved. So if you bought in and around here, then you've made 73%. Good. We're 60% off the previous year's low. If you're buying this, you're looking for above that level of consolidation minimum. Minimum. You're not looking to sell it at the red line. You're not looking to trade it there. You're looking long term. You're looking this to start ripping. You're looking above here. So buying down here, you shouldn't have a problem with that. Do I see anything strong? Not really. Again, monthly's not taking the high. Weekly looks a lot better. We're getting a bit of a pullback in the market, which is we're all happy about. A little bit of pullbacks if you've got some kahoonies and you're willing to buy. Sell side liquidity grab taken. Market ripped. Rallied above. We've got the high to low. So if I'm fibbing this, fibbing the high to low. Ignore this wick. Yeah. Body to wick. Obviously this is on the weekly, so that wants to close. Extend that out in time. Why is that grey? I don't want that grey. Get it off. Background. Piss off. There we go. There's your imbalance. If you want to be finical about a position on an asset that is low in price, with $1 you could buy a couple of hundred. Just whatever. But if you want to be finical, that's where we'll be looking. If we get that, where am I anticipating this is going to end up? I'm looking at this consolidation high. I'm looking at this swing high over here. So from current price, longer term, looking at 2,500%. You either buy it, stick it somewhere, forget about it, or you chew your nails off watching it fucking drip and drab, because it will, like every other asset, it will rip you to pieces. Nevertheless, there is potential there on that. So again, imbalance. If we can get a pullback on that, we have that S&P. We're seeing a pullback at the minute. With what I'm saying, with the rest of the market, we should get that correction. But Casper is one on the charts, like everything else. But I don't want to go too much over an hour here, because not that I'm going to get loads of fucking views anyway, but given the fact that's live stream, 2 new subs, very happy with that. Keep them going. It was a good video. Like I said, if you're still watching, you know how to do some overlays for OBS. Drop me a message. Let's get some shit sorted. I want the screen looking a little bit cooler. Gonna go back to some normal videos. Gonna focus on BTC. There is going to be a little bit more alt videos dropping as we go on, so potential more live streams coming. I'm not saying when yet, because I don't fucking know. But happy with this one. Nicely rolled in, 1 hour and 10 minutes. Great to have you all. It's been an absolute pleasure. To recap, I am sitting on top of the bull, horns in both my hands. I am ready to go on this one. That's my opinion. I've said for a long time, I'll say it when I'm ready, if I see what I want to see. I've seen everything I need to see, and I'm ready to go. You're still watching? Yes, I see. I love you guys. They are the only reasons I still do this. Facts. But yeah, been great to have everyone. Hopefully you found it interesting. I am going to do some cards on it, not tonight because it's late and I need to get to bed. Going to get some cards in it, going to split the video up so you can pick and choose. I might even throw it in AI and get the analysis all split up anyway, and throw some more videos on there and use this video for more content so I don't have to post anything else. That's a winner. But yeah, it's been great. Boys, Discord, CCC, thank you very much. This has been fun. I've enjoyed it. Made me happy. But again, thank you all for watching. Keep cool, keep calm, keep collected, and I'll see you in the next one.